What was the one tiny thing that you took that you liked out of my shitty idea?
Good afternoon, Ray Hernandez.
Good afternoon, Stephen Tobias Ray. That's not your middle name, but
It's
I
not.
like it.
But yeah.
You know who Tobias is from Star Trek? Yeah. Right?
Oh, no. I just know Tobias Van Schneider, the designer.
No, it's James Tobias Kirk is Captain Kirk. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sweet.
Anyway,
Hi, man.
if you don't make it to the end of this video, like, subscribe, tell us how sexy we are in comments, because that's how we grow, and we need to grow because we like to grow. Please.
Yeah, and give us a 5-star rating.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah. Stuff. Yeah.
Sweet.
Thank you. How are you?
Right on, man. Well, I'm doing pretty good. Aside from the fact that what is in my, I've got our messages up, and I sent you this really gross picture earlier, and we don't need to talk about it, but I thought I was going to share a link with you, and that you would have to click on the link, and the stupid messenger populated the image, so now it's stuck there. So we had to do the periods thing to get scroll.
Two things. So one, yeah, you ruined me
We don't need
a
to
little
talk
bit
about
today.
It was bad.
But two, I wonder though if it's because we both have like the Dropbox app on our phone that it actually rendered, right? Like if it actually knew, and typically if you sent that to somebody on Apple phone, it wouldn't. I'm more curious of the interaction.
I don't think so, and here's why. I was using the Messenger desktop app.
Oh.
And I don't think, I mean, it could, but I don't think it worked quite the same.
Same thing applies, though. You probably have the Dropbox app on your Mac.
I do, but
I don't know. I'm making up
I
theories.
think they're doing it server
I'm making
side.
up theories.
Yeah.
I don't know. But,
yeah.
We'll see.
It's good.
I got a
shit out.
haircut. I got my shiz all trimmed up. Literally,
Nice.
Audrey this morning, she goes, "You look different." She goes, "Do you have like that setting on your camera that like makes you look thinner?" And I was like, "No, but I did trim my beard."
What a backhanded compliment.
I know, but it's like my hair is so straight that it goes out.
Yeah.
So like when I have my beard's not trimmed, like my face is literally like this big, and like I haven't like trimmed it in so long that like I was like, no, this is actually just the size of my face,
What I like is that you trimmed away the beard that started to grow into your eyeball.
Yeah, I didn't ask her to do that. She did it.
At least I can't.
That's
good.
No, she
That's
did
my
it.
feedback for you.
She did it. Yeah. No,
I always see.
So sometimes you go get your haircut.
You got this beard.
No, sometimes you go get your haircut and you're just like, I just want you to just do this, and they're like, cool. They start like shaving your eyebrows and like doing it. I'm like, I didn't ask you to do any of that. I'm kind of scared of what you just did to my eyebrow.
You need it,
but I know.
I don't know about the eyebrows.
That's them telling you. You need this. I'm not even gonna ask you.
Yeah. So this just needs to be done.
So I needed some.
Great,
work
looking
done
good, man.
yesterday.
You got your summer shirt on.
It was clean and it was over there in the closet, so I just grabbed it. So that's how I do things these days. Because like we work from home, I'm normally just in like a tatty, sweaty T-shirt from working out in the morning, and some basketball shorts. And I was like, I guess I should not wear that, like have like sweat stains and stuff on the podcast. So I went and grabbed a shirt.
Yeah. Well, plus like you finally have a decent background to look at. It'd be nice if you fucked it up and had a big sweat stain on your shirt.
I got to unbutton these collars. I was feeling too stuffy.
You look fine, dude. You look fine. Well, hey, dude. Let's jump in. So, did you see the Jony Ives? Like he did this post. I think it was for like Financial Times or something. Yeah, Financial Times, and basically it was like his favorite tools, his favorite design tools. Now, the article that I saw was on the Creative Block, which is a site that you and I haven't been to in forever. But the way they wrote it was, the way they wrote it was basically his favorite everyday design tools. They quoted that. So I'm assuming somewhere that he, in this article that he wrote in the Financial Times, How to Spend Your Money, he wrote every day. But it's pretty silly. Like when you first start looking at it, I mean, it's got like $100 eraser. It's got a like a measuring tape that's like this leather covered measuring tape. It's got all these tools that I have no idea what they are, but I guess they're like, well, I don't guess. I mean, I'm making, well, I guess. They're like hardware tools. I guess, okay. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the list now. I mean, the first one is a torque wrench. Like,
for
like a snap-on tool to like torque your lug nuts onto your fucking wheels. Like, I'm confused. Unless it's like, that's inspiration. Or...
So, well, here's what I think. So I had to follow it back to the original post, which I should have had up. But basically, it's the Financial Times How to Spend Your Money. You look at this, and I get it. It's silly, and it kind of like, he lives in sort of a different world. But it was actually, I think it was him trying to say, like, I think these tools are so beautiful, because somewhere he writes like the tools don't just need to be an end to the means to the end or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think, I think there's a part of most designers that see things that they would actually like that are just ridiculous. Like they're too perfect. Like there's this tone arm, which is like, goes on a record player, I think. It's what it looks like. If not, I'm an idiot.
As you say that, and I'm looking at this list, that it makes total sense, because there's one at the bottom that's literally like a weather station, and I'm like, what?
Oh,
like, use that.
By the way, hang on, wait. You pointed that one out. I actually, when I was growing up, in my grandparents' house out in the country, they had those barometers or whatever up on the wall. And when I saw that, I remembered it, and it's just so funny. That's the one you pointed out. I went on Amazon and started looking at them.
So no, that's what I was gonna say. At first, when we're talking about design tools, I was like, "What the fuck do you need a weather station for?" But then you're like, "No, maybe this is like some inspiration and things that are just like so beautifully well done that they like make you think of the ways to design the thing that you're gonna design." And that I totally get. And the weather station one is actually showing a lot of information with very minimal like pieces of information. And so it's like, I think that one makes total sense when you're talking about like inspiration, because it's like an infographic style of thing. It's like, okay, how to use these two arrows to show 1,000 different things about weather, and it's like, oh, like this, and it looks awesome. And it's all matte black. I get it. So I don't know. I feel
and so that was kind of my point. Like, but when I just looked at the other article, it was really easy to be like, God, like I still love Jony Ives. I still think he's an amazing designer. But it was like an easy to read that headline and go, oh, man, I wouldn't say like douche, but like almost, right?
Well,
but
I thought
when you go to the actual site,
I thought you were gonna go, because we've talked about the design snobs a few times on here, and I thought you were gonna be like, pencil and paper is all I need to design. So I have $1,000 pencil and $1,000 piece of paper, and that's how I spend my money, because you don't need fancy tools and things. That's where I thought you were going with it. That was my Jony Ives impression, even though he's British.
I was wondering if that was me. I was like, that's a weird version of me, but
no, it was really horrible.
That is a comment.
I apologize for it, but that's where I thought you were going with it. But now that maybe we're assuming this, but if we're, because it says making.
Well, hang on. Let me tell you.
Design.
Let me tell you
things.
It does. The article does say Jony Ives chooses the 12 tools of his trade. So even the article that he wrote or was a part of, he did write something in here. Yeah, guest edited by Jony Ives. Yeah, so. It kind of still almost says like it's like a tool of his trade, which it totally isn't. They're just beautiful tools. But the funny thing, though, I guess the thing that's still ridiculous about these is some of them are just not efficient. Like that measuring tape. Well, I guess it depends on what you're measuring. I don't know. It's just like a small measuring tape that fits in your pocket. That's leather measuring tape. Doesn't seem like a real precision tool. And seem very, I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess it's a fucking measuring tape.
So here's the thing. This is really interesting just to see how other big famous designers like kind of do things and stuff, right? But the first comment I think is the best thing, and it's from a guy named Mr. Pickle. And like, if I feel like if that was what he says, he goes, lovely article, blah blah blah. The feel of a beautifully engineered instrument is something that not all people can appreciate. Products communicate through touch and feel. If that was like the opening line to this article,
right,
everything would make total sense, right? But you're just like, Jony Ives, design things, and like, here's a torque wrench, you know? And like, it just like, I feel like something's off like with this. But with what Mr. Pickle is saying, these are beautiful instruments, right? Like these, like even like a protractor, I've never seen one that pretty before. Like it's really awesome. You know, so I totally get that like, it just feels beautiful. It looks beautiful. It makes me inspired. I want to make things, you know?
Yeah.
Different.
Well, you know what else it kind of reminds me of is when people get like an amazing old record player. I mean, it's kind of the same, right? It's like,
totally. I think that,
anyway.
So this is where I was going a minute ago is, for me, a lot of times it's not the things, it's the space, right? Like,
wow,
I feel like I
quote right there.
I create better, and I'll literally take jobs because the office is so cool that I know I'm going to be creative in that space. Like, it's going to inspire me. Like, it's like an artist studio. It's like, I like lofts and like leather furniture and this and that and like all blacked out or whatever. And like that style, I'm going to create awesome things. I don't really do that with stuff, though. I don't really do it with like the tools like this, which I find this really interesting. I feel like it's the same. But to me, this is like, what are the top 12 things that inspire Jony Ives to create the things that he creates? That's how I take this article, right? Which I think that's really interesting. Like, I'm curious what yours are. Like, what are your things that you like, that you have around, or like this space or whatever, that like, you're like, this is what I feel creative with that.
One thing is that that is the whole reason that you and I didn't work together. It would have been my first like career job. You'd worked in a bunch of places already, but at Match, because this stupid advertising agents that I went to, the guy who owned it wasn't a good designer. I think he hired a company to come in and, well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I know he did. Basically, they created this like amazing space. And I liked it, and that's why I joined them. It was like a horrible place to work, but I took that over joining Match because I've made
that mistake plenty of times purely based on the space. People were horrible, job was horrible, but that was a really cool spot. You know,
if you could just block out everything, you're like,
if I could just do my own stuff in that office, it'd have been sweet.
Right?
Know?
Yeah.
But
well,
I get it.
As far as stuff that I have. I mean, I have like, there's times when I've gotten nice notebooks. I've very much reverted to just like, you know, college rule notebooks. Cause I go through them. Like I make sure that I don't use a page for more than one day. So sometimes there's pages that don't have much on it. And like you would normally just like continue to fill up the page. So anyway, that makes me get through them so quick that I don't want to spend it on like a nice, like, you know, lined grid book or something like that. But
so I have the same / opposite problem. So like, we were my friend Reynaldo and Lika were in Spain, and there was this like crazy Japanese retail store there, and it had all this like Japanese like papers and pens and this.
It wasn't Uniqlo, was it?
I'm not sure. I have it around here somewhere. But it was beautiful. Like, it felt so nice. It was so like cool, right? And so like I bought it thinking like, oh, this is gonna be my new startup ideas book.
Yeah.
But it's so nice.
I'm
dude, I have scared to like mess with it. Like, I'm like, man, because in my other sketchbooks, I'm like, I'll throw pages out because like I messed up that drawing or whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to do that with this one. Like, it's so nice. So like, I literally haven't. This was like, I don't know, 4 years ago. Probably 4 years ago. I've had this thing for 4 years and I haven't touched it. Like, I'm scared. Yeah. It's like I'm scared.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And I have one of those notebooks that Nicole got me for like my birthday or an anniversary or something. and she wrote this like beautiful note, and it was like, this is for all your creative ideas. And like, I opened it up the other day, and I have like one page and you could tell like I was trying to make it all perfect too. Like I was trying to make perfect notes, which kind of like isn't just not the way I don't think either one of us work. It's like a lot of scribbly bullshit.
Yeah, I need to scribble and be okay with throwing that thing in the trash, right?
Yeah.
And like even so I bought these like really cool pens that went with it too. Like I haven't even used them. They're probably dried up because I haven't used them because they were just like, I don't know, like I feel intimidated. Like it was so nice, I felt intimidated by that. So
well, that makes me think,
there is too far of inspiration, I think.
Well, now I'm gonna wonder what that notebook is. I'm gonna make you use it.
I'll find it after this. I'll send it to you. I mean, it's just like, so like back when I used to like draw and paint and do portraits and stuff like that, you'd find like that paper from Italy that was very textured and had like the, like it's the pencils and things and charcoal.
Yeah, nice paper.
Go over it really nice. This was like a whole book of that, and it was like so nice, and it was like I think it was hand sewn together, like the ream of it, right? So like
it sounds just like the one Nicole got me.
Like it's like totally like this like handmade book, right? That like also too like I'll buy like spiral notebooks for my sketch notebooks so that I can flip it all the way open. Since this one's like hand sewn, like I'm gonna be like messing up the seam just opening it. So it's like it's like a fancy pair of like awesome shoes that you just don't want to get any creases in. Like that's what it's become. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I have got in the past that was not necessary is one of those like metal heavy mechanical pencils. Mm-hmm. And it's really nice. It's still not blanking on the right word, but like the eraser on it is like really tiny, and you have to like replace the eraser. It's got the little metal. It's the one. Yeah. It's kind of like the ones when you were young. If you erase too much, you just like rip your paper.
No, so I don't know. When I was younger, I feel like I drew a lot more, and I was obsessed with those things like that. What is it? The Mont Blanc pens and like like the fancy,
too expensive,
fancy pencils and pens and paper and stuff like that. And like I don't know, now I'm just like, just give me a number 2 pencil and like a scrap of fucking printer paper and let me go to town on something real quick.
All right, question for you.
Sharpie.
What is your do you use mechanical pencils ever? Like not even nice ones, just like Bics or whatever?
No, I do. I go straight pen on every. I don't use pencils.
Oh, okay. All right.
I even like draw.
Well, never mind.
Pen with pens.
Same. I recently
is like a Bic, like a 30-cent Bic rollerball pen.
Yeah, dude.
Is like the bomb for me to draw with. Like I can make it look realistic.
These are the ones that I love. I mean, it's a little rollerball, and I don't know. I love them because they look kind of classic. It's like a torpedo shape or whatever. So that's what I got. For my. That's what I always got in my companies or whatever. Like, you want that old looking shit? And I'm like, yeah, it fucking looks way better than...
This is actually my everyday. Just straight Sharpie.
Fat. Straight thick ass.
Straight thick Sharpie. Just like, I'll start drawing it out.
That's good. Well, that's actually a good design note right there. Because, I mean, I know you know this, but like, that's one of the rules. Like, whenever we're doing like workshops and things, you'll either give people like Sharpies or you'll give them dry erase, which is even thicker, even to use on paper so they don't accidentally use the Sharpie on the board. Mm-hmm. But, and I know I'm stating the obvious to you, but I think it's a good point for anybody that, hasn't gone through that type of exercise. But it's way better to use something like that than a small pen because it keeps you from going into all the detail that your brain might be trying to put into this little sketch. And the idea is that you're really trying to get like very high level, just sort of directional sort of ideas. And if you make yourself do like, we used to always do like Crazy Eights. You've done that probably. Maybe don't know the name. Have you heard that before?
I know what you're talking about.
Crazy Eight.
You told me that you guys did it, but I've never actually done it.
Yeah. So we would even make make the clients do it with us. But yeah, so it's basically like there's a time limit. And the value in making it a time limit is you also give them, it's like called Crazy 8. So it's like you make them do 8 sketches of like what a dashboard might look like. And so the first like 2 it's usually like a pretty small amount that are like really easy because somebody's got an idea. this vision in their head, which is good. So they get that out, and then it's like, okay. And what you do is you give each one, I can't remember the time right now. It may be, is it 8 minutes? I think that feels like too long. But anyway, you give them a short period of time for each one. You're like, next. And so by the end, it's like you're rushing, because it's like, even though you had the same amount of time in the beginning, you're just like, okay, what else could it be? And so that's like, it's valuable because it's like trying to like force something different and weird, which sometimes, as you know, could be interesting, or somebody else could see it and it gives them an idea. But the big value also in like using the real thick markers is that you don't start wasting time going like, okay, and a button would go here, and and this and that, and you don't start trying to figure it out, which is easy to kind of get it. It's easy to accidentally go down that rabbit hole of like, trying to think through what everything looks like when that's not the goal yet. It's like zooming way out and starting, and then we would all share and look at each other's. And sometimes I think we might even do it again, because we'd be like, all right, you got some more ideas? You want to do it again? And if enough people are like, yeah, okay, now I'm inspired by everybody else's. So, but anyway, the point being like, it's critical that you use a fat tipped like marker, so that, you don't waste time or don't go down a rabbit hole.
I don't know. I prefer it. Like, I like it. I don't know why I feel faster with it, and it's probably because of that.
That's why
I'm not worried about the details. I use them basically.
You're a trained professional.
Yeah, but like the way we do it is like what I'm drawing is essentially a wireframe, right? So like I'm just trying to inspire you with the pieces that are on there, and then I want my design team to like go crazy with it and do something else, and then I'll be like,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's high level. It's a directional idea. Hopefully somebody's inspired by some of it, and then you're like, well, that one and that one I'm going to start going deeper on. You just do it instinctively now, because you're a pro.
What's funny is like, those are typically like, part of the design sprints and stuff that we'll all do for clients or for whatever projects we're working on and things. And still to this day, like our CTO now, like we went to Germany to do this whole week workshop thing with this company. And I don't know if this was his first design sprint that he'd had to go through. And I've been through a ton of them, but I've never done this whole draw a bird thing. Like normally it's like focused on the work and things.
Is that how you started the whole thing?
It wasn't, no. We didn't start it with that. It was like something and then that. And so we thought, like, in his head, he's like, okay, now we're logically going to like start thinking about the product and what it could do and all these things. And he's like, all right, now in 5 seconds, draw a bird. Now in 10 seconds, draw a bird. And he's just like looking at me across the table going, what the fuck are we doing? Like he was just like, it had like blown his mind. Like, I don't understand. And like we left there like a week later, and he was just all like, that's literally all we took away from it, was that he does not understand this design sprint thing. And I was like, it was like meant to like loosen you up, or just be like, it doesn't matter how beautiful it is.
He didn't explain that?
No, not really. This was
okay.
Not well-run design sprint. But
no, go ahead, finish.
No, I was gonna say is I'm in the same boat as he was. Like I am creative and want to do things and want to like think through all the stuff that we could do, and I want to knock things out and go through this whole piece. But I think there are pieces of the design sprint that are just stupid that some people do, and just a waste of time.
Yeah. Well,
and that was one of them for me.
Here's what I think happens. I've seen this happen in other, maybe different contexts, but so, somebody who hasn't done as many workshops, they participate in a workshop, and what they're thinking about is what the actual activity is, and not the outcome that you're trying to get from the activity. And so what I've seen is people that do the activity, and they're like, well, that's what we're supposed to do. And it's like, well, no, hang on. Here's what you need to understand: why you're doing the activity first, because you doing it that way may not actually be the way that you can run it. What you're trying to do is this thing, and you just have to be creative. And as a designer, you have that power. But if you think you're doing a thing, like, you're doing it wrong. You're trying to get a result, right? So the one you just talked about with the bird or whatever, for one, if he didn't explain, enough about why you did it and left you in like, what the fuck, that, wasn't very good. But like, typically those are the types of things that you'll do right when you start, because everyone, like, you've got some designers that aren't afraid to like just draw boxes and squares and shit like that. Or, but then everybody else like thinks like, they're like, oh my God, we're with a bunch of like professional artists, which also isn't necessarily the case. And so the goal is like you get everybody just to sort of laugh and feel stupid. And you're like, all right, everybody, that's just an exercise. The whole goal is to like not worry about it. Nothing's going to be great out of this. And we want your ideas. And then you start.
Yeah. If you were running it, it would have gone that way. But that's why I think that this was completely stupid, because there was like one designer and like 10 executives and developers, right? Like I wasn't going to outshine everybody by drawing some beautiful thing. Like I'm more going to draw the box, And so it was like, that's what I mean. It's like, you also have to read the room and know, like, to your example, there's a bunch of designers. We're doing a design sprint, and I don't want you guys to feel like, oh, I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to do this stuff. Let's like even the playing field. But this was the playing field was the opposite, like in this scenario. And so that's what I mean. It's like you have to like cut out the fat, like of like, this just isn't needed for this one. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to this next piece, and like let's keep things moving. So I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
Just my bitching moment for
if the execs and all that you didn't think you were going to get creative, if they weren't doing more like sketching exercises, then there's no point in doing that. But the goal is actually like to get those execs not feeling like they're intimidated by the designers or whatever.
I get it. I still feel like there's better
but you're
ways
right
to open people up and to get them like happy and excited, and don't worry about like you could have just drawn a circle and been like, hey, you see this? No, it's not a circle. This is your product. This is all we need from you. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's plenty of ways to just be like, we're not drawing the fucking Mona Lisa here, guys. Like, draw some circles, draw some boxes. Let's fucking make this shit happen.
I want to have a sketch video of Ray's workshop. It's like, all right, everybody, we know you fucking suck at drawing. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
I like to actually.
That is legit how I would do it. Not even kidding. Actually, my boss was there too at this one in Germany. And so I roll up, I'm wearing like I think I told you, like a tiger print shirt, because I'm just like, my whole thing when I go to these things, I just like, you're going to remember me. I'm going to wear some crazy hat or crazy shirt or something, right? And like my boss is there, and like we're in a German company, very corporate. Everyone is wearing suits and ties, and then there's me, right? Mm-hmm. And they're very proper, very, like very polite, everything. And we're going through everything, and I'm like, yeah, but that fucking sucks. And like, I've never seen my boss Mark like move his neck as fast as he did, like looking back at me, like he was freaked the fuck out. And then every one of them started fucking laughing their ass off. And like, they were like, oh, finally, okay, we're in like not stuffy place. We can actually talk now.
Yeah.
And it totally like cleared the room of like, it was just like any kind of weirdness. Now everybody's like, all right, let's just talk. Let's have a good time. But it took me like just fucking ripping on something and like just being a dick, like I'm easily can do these days, But I don't know. I'll always remember that, where it was like, I said it and then I was like, oh fuck. Okay. It was like a roller coaster of emotions.
Little bit of a risk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I fired? No.
That's what I do. You got to live on the edge.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we should cue that song right now.
Living on the edge.
I was hoping you'd sing it. Yeah. Well, hey, before we jump in, let's play our fucking commercial. And here it comes. Oh, hang on. Oh, dang it. Wait, where's the fucking... Oh, yeah, that camera. Hey, gang. Have you ever thought about starting a podcast of your own? Well, quit thinking about it and get started. Check out riverside.fm. It's an amazing platform that allows you to record high-quality audio and video directly to your computer. They've also got amazing built-in editing tools that you can use directly in the browser. It's super easy. With a few clicks, you'll be ready to publish. Quit waiting around. You want to start a podcast? Get started today. Check out riverside.fm. Use our promo code UXWeekly. What are you waiting for? Can't wait to hear your podcast. Totally fucked that up. Anyway, we're back. Yeah, I was trying to cover up the the screen camera. I completely forgot we've got these fucking sweet ass cameras. I was like, why isn't my finger covering that?
Yeah, you're just like, just fingers. Just finger everywhere. Like a whole video of just your finger floating around.
Oh,
like, wait,
man.
what?
Well,
man, that
that's
was a
how it's going to be
grandpa
on this
moment.
one.
Speaking of grandpa moments, I texted you this morning, but I don't even know if you saw it. Like I got hurt trying to like not be old man. Like, so I've been going to the trainer and I've been like playing basketball. We played basketball on Sunday and trying to get back into a routine. So like he hit me up and he was like, hey, you want to go play basketball this morning? I'm like, hell yeah. So I take the kids to school, go to the gym, shooting around, getting ready. Just as people start coming in to get ready, I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. Just me and him shooting around. And I just go, I'm going to take a step into like I'm going to the basket. And my calf just went and just like, it just popped. And I was just like, oh shit, I think I'm done. And like, yeah, my calf is just like broken. Like I've been icing it and like it, but it's like, I watched a bunch of videos, you know, because that's what you do. Because I don't, you know, why would you go to the doctor when you have YouTube? Yeah, so exactly. It's like, they were like, if you pulled it, it turns into this deformity thing. And like, it's like hanging down and looks all jacked up. It looks normal. So I guess I didn't pull it. I did something else. And then, so I've basically just been icing it. But man, it was like such an old man moment to where like, I'm not even playing a game. I'm literally just shooting around and I take one step forward and it just like, I broke myself. So anyway, I'm old and broken. Thought I'd shit myself.
I just looked at something and hurt my neck.
Yeah. I pulled my back out just from looking at something. That's what's gonna happen next. Thank you. You just jinxed me.
Well, I'm sorry, man. Let's keep our fingers crossed it doesn't happen. Follow back up. It'll happen in a couple of months, and you'll reference this moment. I told you it was coming.
Like, it's your fault, Steve. Fucking asshole.
Dude, so I had to see it. I've heard too much. And you know, as I keep mentioning, I've been on Twitter a bit more lately. And what I've been seeing is people that post, cause I mean, I get kind of everything in my stream. I don't even necessarily want it, but somehow it makes its way because somebody else liked it or something. But anyway, I'll see these stupid comments and I don't know whether I have to go see their profile because I want to see how dumb this person is. But I've been seeing all these people that are like, it's like a lot of politics and stuff. But like, follow me on Truth Social. And anyway, so I mean, obviously, like, I don't think you have to be a fucking genius to realize that that's like the conservatives. I mean, if you listen to anything or whatever,
it's
that's
Trump's
like
company, right?
Is that one?
I don't know.
Oh,
I thought
maybe you're right.
Because I know he tried to make one called Truth, and it bombed. I'm making an assumption. I don't know. But I thought that the Truth Social thing was Trump's thing.
I want to figure that out.
So this is what's interesting though, is like, I haven't seen it at all. Like, so that tells you I've done a fucking fantastic job of hiding people and unfollowing people and unfriending people in my Facebook and all my stuff. Cause I haven't seen, like, this is the first time I'm seeing anything, you talking about it. So I feel very lucky and privileged to not have to deal with this.
Congrats. Well, anyway, it's pretty funny. So I finally wanted to see it. So I went to the website. I didn't know if it was actually available, but it's funny because they designed the website. If you just go to like, I think it's like truthsocial.com. And so they've got a dude that basically is like, looks like just a normal dude. I mean, like, okay, here's my point. This is definitely for, right-leaning, or the reason it was created was for mostly like right-leaning conservative people. And my feelings on it, maybe I'm wrong, but especially if Trump started it or if it's his company, then yeah. But this is just going to be like a whole social platform echo chamber. But if you go to the truthsocial.com, it's like, it's got like, they got a young designer or something that, has like a little pink to purple gradient. And then there's like a picture of a dude that looks like he's probably a designer, wearing some black frame glasses and a beard, has a funny, but then the things I even looked at, like, it says like his interest, because I can kind of see his profile. It's like DJ Fu, Nick Ninja, whatever. It's all this stuff, nothing political at all. So I thought that was like at least kind of smart on their behalf, because
there's no mention of guns.
Right, or freedom, or anything like that.
America.
I guess it does say encourages open, free, and honest global conversation, but without discriminating against political ideology. Okay, it's kind of there if you read it, but it's still, they made it look like it's like a normal person. But so I was like, all right, I gotta go check it out, and so I downloaded it. If you go on it, like all that's on there is like all the Republican, there's a couple of politicians that aren't like super far right Republicans, but I think they're like some of the Republicans that, like, I think some liberal people are like, well, if they'd be okay or whatever. But it's like that whole side of the party, and then it's all the Fox News anchors. And I was like, oh, that's kind of hilarious.
You signed up for it. You're gonna be like on a list now. You're like on some.
Well, I used a different email address.
Oh, okay.
I was a little worried about that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm looking at the New York Times article. It is Trump's uncensored social app, except for the fact that it censors posts. So apparently, like, posts are being taken down like very quickly, like if it doesn't kind of meet the agenda.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hadn't really read into any like articles about it.
It's just
That's
the
hilarious.
first article I'm seeing, so this is obviously one person's take on it, and I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying.
It is coming from a New York Times, so that'd be the other side. But if facts are facts, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't actually fucking care.
I don't either.
But
except for like, it's kind of. Your app basically should be called Lie if truth means one-sided conversation, right? Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, totally.
So,
well, the funny thing, so I download it, and it's like, it's actually not over the top, but you can see that like it had to be tamed down. Well, I don't know, it wasn't that bad. The one thing that I thought was funny is like when you're supposed to load your avatar, it's like a bald eagle like illustration instead of just like a head. I thought it was pretty funny. Then when they want you to load your, it actually is it's kind of cool looking, but it's just kind of funny because it's like Trump's thing. Of course he's gonna have like a fucking bald eagle. At least he had some designers to help him make it not look. No, I mean,
you can
crazy.
tell that there was some design effort put into this. I'm looking at the App Store screenshots and stuff. Like, I mean, so now I'm gonna be a dick. Okay, so yes, it's clean. Everything's put together. Everything's put together. It looks nice, but it's literally just a fucking clone of Instagram or Twitter, right? Like, it's not like there's something creative going on. They literally changed the color to purple, and now like it's that, right? So I don't give somebody too much credit because. They didn't.
No. Don't get me wrong. No, I just you've seen like other efforts that are
100%. No, this is leaps and bounds from whatever he tried to launch a minute ago that they flooded with anime porn. So.
Well, I would bet money that this is not going to be around long.
It's got 60,000 reviews and it's got a 4.2 rating.
Well, maybe it will be. I mean, I guess like it's fun to go to an echo chamber and everybody's like, yeah, we all agree.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's something I always like, I know like parts of a thing, but I don't know the whole thing. There's like ways, right? Like there's like a term that like when too many people start using it, basically it doesn't work anymore, because if Waze is trying to show you like a way around the traffic, but then if everybody knew to go that way, then the traffic is actually going the way that's trying to tell you. I feel like they're going to have the same problem, right? Like the people that are like that in my head that I put into this box that are on Facebook, look for the fight. And they want that fight on Facebook.
Exactly what I was going to say, yeah.
And so there's no fight. It's just people going, yay, well, okay, this is boring. We're all just fucking happy-go-lucky. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I want to fight. Which there is a funny meme with, like, some Asian, like, a woman. She's going to, like, return a bag or something. And there's another Asian behind the counter. And, like, she goes, I need to return this bag, like, all mad. And she goes, okay, here's your money. And she goes, oh, And the girl behind the counter goes, "Did you want to fight?" And she goes, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Well, man, where's your receipt?" And so she like opens it up because it's like, that's really what she was hoping for this whole time. I feel like that's what this is. Like, I don't know. But with that said, I could see the people on the other side joining this app.
Oh, coming for the fight.
To be the other side. And then essentially it's like, how is this any different than just your Facebook feed or your Twitter feed? Like what's different about this? I guess that they're saying that Twitter is censoring them and they're not going to.
I guess.
Is that their pitch?
I guess that's supposed to. Well, I think so. Without censorship or whatever. Yeah, we'll see. Or people are gonna basically copy Twitter posts and then like put the link here. Be like, look at this stupid shit. No mute.
I pushed the mic, and then I pushed it again as I was coughing. So I tried to mute my cough, but it didn't work. I apologize.
Well done. Anyway, bro, I'll be seeing you on True Social.
Yeah,
a lot of creative ideas.
So, but here's what's interesting, and I can't help it. Like I see something, and now I want to make something, right? I want to make like the Truth app, not Truth Social. Make it the exact same colors, like the exact same stuff. And then just like all of the ads are things that everyone would hate. Like they're just like, they're thinking they're in the right place. And like, there's all the same people and all the right stuff that's going on.
Oh, you mean trick people?
Yeah, totally. And then just have only sell sponsorship ads that like take over the whole screen and make you watch a video about how like, America's coming for your guns and you're going to have to deal with it. Sign this petition now to bring your guns to, the police station now. Like just like something to piss them off. Like, I don't know. I can think of something better. I can upset somebody.
No, I got you.
But you know where I'm going.
Yeah, call it Truth with F's.
Truth.
Instead of TH.
Truth
Social. Yeah. Like all right. Well.
There you go. Sweet. Trump successfully made an app. Or paid somebody to.
Yeah. Good job. Well, good job.
It only took 3 tries.
And now Elon's gonna make Twitter non-censored stuff, whatever. You're like, not worth it.
That's I don't know. That's my whole thing with any of these. It's like, I do think that the social media big companies have gotten so big that totally somebody small could come in and kind of take them over, like start to get get the love and the engagement.
Yeah.
But it's almost like you can't just clone it. Like you got to do something totally
there's got to be a compelling reason, right?
Yeah, or just like it's something that's future facing or something like that, right? Like what's the future of the clone app that just is doing the exact same thing? It's like, I'm making shit up, but like it's got to be like in the Oculus, or it's got to be a TV station, or it's got to be like, whatever. It's got to be something different.
That's what I think made Twitter what it is to begin with, is that you can't get any more basic. Like Twitter's just fucking basic. I mean, they've got features, but the app itself is just a basic ass, like you post a message, and they just did it in a way that like, we remember back in the fail well days or whatever, they just were able to scale it. So it's like, you could have gone to like not a leaderboard, what is it called? Message board, or
like
what I'm
forum?
talking about, right? A forum, yeah. I mean, essentially, like you could just go there, but like it's not a good experience, right? But you can't get any more basic than just writing a fucking message. So I think it'd be hard pressed to find something, because what made him, and this is my kind of what I hadn't really thought about this, but I think what makes it so good is that you can't get any less. It's just post a message.
I get that side of it, but I think anybody could do that. Like that's not, to me, that's the interaction. To me, that's not what makes Twitter work and grow the way that it does. What it is like the openness of like somebody that we would think is unattainable is now suddenly attainable, right? Like if I want to talk to like the president, I can tweet at him and he might respond to me, So
right, but I'm not saying anything different than that. Like, but what I'm saying is that like, well, maybe I'm getting too like specifically on Twitter, like there's nothing else you can do to make it any simpler. And they've already got the, the engagement and everything you just talked about. I guess to your point, if something started and it was like the right people to begin with, I still don't think you could do it. Because back when Twitter first started and we were able to engage with like, maybe quasi celebrities because they were on it and engaging and there wasn't that many people on it. Now everybody is familiar with like social media. And so I don't know. Does that kind of make sense? Like, to your point,
I get what you're saying, but I still feel like there's something else. And like Twitter is the perfect example because Twitter was also trying to think of the future. That's why they bought Vine and they were doing something with video, and then they bought Meerkat and they were doing something with live streaming. It just, those didn't pop, right? Like everything else did. So because we have that now. But, to my point. But that interaction did pop. It just didn't pop with them.
Yeah, I guess Vine was blowing up.
Live streaming is totally there. TikTok is the exact same thing as Vine. Everything, all of those things did blow up. That was the new social. They are the new social now. TikTok is the new social.
Yeah, but if Vine had stuck around, would TikTok have been as viable?
I mean, I love
You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly my point. It's like Twitter had the pieces to start thinking of the future other than just 140 characters and a message, the simple piece. What's the next step to the simple piece? A 3-second video. What's the next step to that? A, whatever, live stream that you can actually do. And like they had that. They could have kept going with it, but they didn't. They shut them all down. But over here, somebody was like, cool, I'm thinking future. I don't care about the 140 character thing.
Well, it's still basic. I mean, it's still like you're posting a video instead of a message. Like it's still just 100%, like one
but
kind of feature.
That's still different. That's like going, oh, well, you're still watching a movie, but now you're wearing an Oculus. It's not the same thing as watching it on this screen or watching it on TV. I'm watching it on a headset and I can walk around my house.
Yeah, what I'm talking about.
Walls. It's still different.
So, okay, the point you're making would tell me that this Truth Social, if they added a Vine feature or something different, well, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is like the feature of like posting a message, like these are all just like feature apps that have done that feature really well. And like, could TikTok, do you think that adding a messaging, I'm getting what you're saying. Like,
so
it's got to be the totally next thing. But my point, the thing that started all of this was you were talking about cloning. So if you're cloning, I mean, that's different than like doing something entirely different, which would be something new and different, right?
So here's my point. I'm the head of product for Truth Social, right?
Okay.
Like, here's what I'm going to say. They're like, hey, let's just clone Twitter. It's like 140 characters, or now we're going to do 300 characters, whatever, fuck. And they'll just write a message and it'll be the same thing. And it's like, I would say, let's not do that. Let's do like whatever, like what's beyond the TikTok piece. Like let's do a video that's telling you why you care about America more than anybody else or whatever. And everyone can write their own and do like mini commercials about like why you're the best American in the world. And it's still the simple interaction. All you're doing is posting a 10-second video, but it's a different twist on them bitching through text on Twitter or on Truth Social than just putting those things. It's another simple interaction, but it's the next generation of that simple interaction is what I'm getting at. It's like, I don't want to make the newspaper, which actually now it's kind of retro and it would actually be kind of cool if they made a newspaper, but I don't want to make the old thing. You got to think of the new thing, and and like cloning the same thing is not thinking. It's like taking a step sideways instead of taking a step forward.
I completely agree. I think we're doing your old Asian lady in the supermarket situation, because like we're saying, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. Are you still there?
Yeah, no, an alarm was going off. I was telling them to turn it off. I did a good job of muting, but you called me out on it. But no, we're saying the same thing. My whole point is I think it's stupid. That's my whole point. I think it's stupid. They should have done something else.
That's my point, Ray. God damn
Okay,
it.
it's our point.
All right.
We share points.
Just kidding. So
Speaking of our new sponsor,
man.
True Social.
yeah.
Sorry, just kidding.
Oh man. Let's pick a different one. Man, what was I gonna? Oh, okay, yeah. So you remember a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about Figma's billing model and how it annoyed the shit out of me.
Yes.
So, working with this, consulting with this other company, I started an account under their company, and there would be times where I would invite people to look at the shit that I was working on, and I would delete them. So, because I was like, I don't want to, get to the end of this month and have 90 people. That's actually, that wasn't an exaggeration for where my previous job, but I get the bill, and what I'm expecting to be like 2 or 3 people, so maybe it's like 30-ish, maybe $40 or something. It was like $80. And so I look at all the projects, and I'm like, fuck, I've removed everybody. So this is why I think it's fucked up. You can invite someone to look at a project. It adds them to like your sort of global group of people, and now they are a user under your account. If you remove them from a project, they're still connected to your account. So when I went back to look at all the people that were in the account, it was everyone that, even like, a guy that we were chatting with that I was, he was a designer for another company. He was like, oh yeah, I'd love to check it out. I was like, oh yeah, let me just show you. And, and so he was in there. I don't know, man. It's just fucked up.
No, that's
just to me,
shady.
That's what I mean. It's like designed that way.
I mean, I could see. Okay, I could see. I'll put my shady hat on. I could see how brilliant that potentially is. Right?
Oh no, totally. No,
because
it's good.
It's like this is a bill. This is a bill that most companies don't look at or really care about. They know they need it, so they just okay, we have a design team. They need that stuff. No one's ever going to look at it. I don't realize I'm paying $10,000 a month for my 50 designers, right? And so from that angle, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
From the other side, it's shady as fuck. Because it's we preview things, we present things, we send this stuff all over the place. There's going to be, that link's going to get sent around, And I'm sure they'll come back and be like, well, sir, you just did it incorrect. And you're supposed to share this link, not that link.
So I won't mention any names, but a good friend of ours told me that she called and bitched them out and they gave her a refund. But that's literally what happened to me at my previous company, was that I had, we started growing. So I had somebody taking care of the, all the finance and stuff. So I didn't even really see it. And then one day, one of the guys had a question and I saw it and I was like, it was like $5,000. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was like, I literally had 50 designers. And then I know some developers might be on it as well, but I'm like, this math seems weird. And so I go looking around and it just I think they've improved this because they probably got a lot of nasty emails. But there used to be a view that would show you everybody maybe it was the same. Maybe it was everybody who's on a project. And then you would finally dig down to it and you'd find everybody that was on your account. And it was clients that we had for 3 that we had ended projects with and that weren't still a client that needed to get in here. We were still paying accounts for them for it was 100 and something people. It was crazy. And so, yeah, that was the first time I shit my pants.
So we talked about this before we started recording. Sorry not to derail from you shitting your pants, but this focus feature,
you gave me a long pause.
No, I just got a call on my computer from Slack. I have the do not disturb until this evening on, and it just starts popped up and starts ringing in my ear, and it's fucking all over the place. Why does it not work for me? I don't understand.
Well,
I do what
Slack,
everybody else does.
Well, I don't know about that, but Slack.
I press the same button. I press the same button that everybody else does. Is my point.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you need to get a new computer.
Sorry, I derailed again. I'm a horrible person. What do you want to talk about next?
Dude, I was going to ask you the same thing, man. I will tell you that. What are you thinking?
I'm kind of pumped about this whole soundtrack idea, because we've heard.
Okay.
Like, anyway, I'll give a breakdown of it. We've been told multiple times that a lot of times designers will like listen to our podcast in the background, right? And they'll just put it on the TV or whatever, and they're just doing their own thing, kind of listening. Like, it's just kind of there, and that's kind of cool. Like, we're like the designer white noise, right? I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
So much that like it made me start thinking about like what's my white noise? Like, what do I put on? And like, there's like, I listen to music or different things, or I'll like watch people make things, or I'll like do whatever. And so we had this idea of like, what if we did the UX Weekly soundtrack, and we started doing some videos that were really long, right? Like, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, 6 hours, whatever.
Right.
And the whole idea would just be like, it'd be really good music. And then the video would just be people designing apps and designing websites and designing stuff and making products. Yeah. And so it's like, if you happen to look up, you actually can see something kind of cool. Like, people are just making stuff, you know, like it'd be awesome. But
it's
then
like
if you don't, it's good music that you can listen to, you know, brought to you by us, you know?
Yeah.
And I was even thinking, I was going deeper, you know, cause I can't help it. This is how I work.
All right, let's hear it.
I was thinking it'd be cool if like designers sent us videos of them making things, like just like stuff on the side, not like their work, cause sometimes there's legal and all that, but like, I just made this cool app that was like, you know, that does this thing, and then you press it and it blows up like bubble gum and it splats everywhere, whatever. Like some random thing, right? Mm-hmm. And they record their screen and like them doing it, and they send it to us, and we like link to them, and it becomes almost like a little promotional thing. Like, it's music, and then like it would say like at Stephen Ray on Twitter or whatever it is that you want, like whatever you want it to promote or link to. And like, that's all you gotta do. Send us some videos. Dude, and we'll post that and play with some music.
Yeah, you hadn't mentioned that. I kind of love that. What I think could even be cool is like almost like a dribble version, where maybe it doesn't even have to be videos. It's just like really nice designs that come up on the screen and just sort of like goes through a flow or something. That way, because, you know, you're mentioning people could submit their stuff. They don't have to necessarily know how to do like videos, but it's still like creative inspiration.
Well,
when you look
if they're on a Mac,
oh, that's a fucking cool design.
If they're on a Mac, it's really simple. Like, you just go open up QuickTime.
Yeah. No, I know.
Start screen record. Like, that's literally all they'd have to do. Like, which is be super simple. But I'm with you. I'm down for whatever. I was just thinking like it'd be really cool to like combine the two things, right? Like some good music. Yeah, some good designs, and then almost like showcase designers that like aren't out there and aren't super popular yet, and like get them followers or whatever, you know. Like, I think
here's
that's
what's
really cool.
Also cool about that is that it keeps it fresh. So it's like every, you know, we'll lower the bar for us, not lower the bar. We'll make it easier for us. We'll do like every month. It's like, you know, here's the designers of the month, and it's like the playlist or whatever. Okay, well, now that we're talking about it, we got to get on that one.
No, I mean, so I've been working on it a little bit today, so I'm kind of on it.
Oh, okay. So yes.
But to your point, I really dig that. Like, it'd be cool if one person sent us a bunch of videos, and like the whole thing is just them working. Like, it's just like, this is, you know, blah blah at blah blah blah, you know, and like it's just a cool music behind them, and it's just like it's just them working. It's like, here, follow Steve all day. Here's what Steve did all day. And then the next video is like, follow Curtis all day. And like, here's what he was working on all day. You know, like, I don't know. I think that's cool.
Yeah. So I like something about that. I'm not sure I would
some
listen
of that
to
shit, but I like some of that, you know?
Another backhanded comment. Yeah.
Man.
But
what was the one tiny thing that you liked out of my shitty idea?
I'm gonna have to think about it.
All right.
No. Well, I do. I think that is. Yeah. I think there's an interesting idea there. Like, I think we got to do this. And you made me lose my train of thought. I don't know. I guess what I was gonna say is, like, I don't know that I'd want to watch. And I guess to your point, it's the listen and watch. I'm not sure personally if I'm as interested in like seeing this person work, maybe briefly, but not just a bunch of working. I could see though, like a designer showcase where it's like maybe a 10 or 15 minute one or something. But what I'm digging is the idea of like just showcasing work. So it's like all this inspiration. So every time you look over, it's like, cool. But that it's also got that person's work. So like if it's like dribble work or whatever, you can go, okay, let me go check out their shit.
So I don't hate that, but here's my
even
pitch.
better.
Here's my pitch as to the original idea, right? Okay. It's like I always have to like tell my team too, like I don't want to be the hovering art director. I like am inspired by watching them because I'm like learning because it's like, and like me and you, like I'll sit down and I'll design something at your desk.
Wait, let me clarify something. Yeah, let me clarify that. Let me get clarification. Do you mean seeing the actual work done on the screen? I guess actually, yeah, you said that.
I like watching the process that somebody does.
Do a
thing.
Okay. I misunderstood because when you first told me about this before we started recording, you said watching people design, and in my head, my vision of it was like me sitting in a desk, moving my mouse.
You're just watching my face. You're just watching my face all day long, just I'm moving around.
Now.
No, you see the sketch or Figma or whatever, your desktop. And so you're seeing the layers move around and you're seeing like, to get that effect.
Okay.
I would have done 12 pieces, but they did this thing with points and did a gradient on it. And I'm like, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, that's literally like, I'll watch my team work and like, I'll just like learn.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not like trying to be like, I don't like that. Change that, move that over here. It's more of like, fuck, I didn't know you could do that. Damn it. I would have took me like an hour to do that.
That was the point you made earlier whenever you come over here or vice versa or whatever. And we're just like, man, you do it so differently. Or you learn something like, wait, what did you just do? No, now it makes sense earlier when you were like, can you speeding it up? Like by 10x?
Because I'm picturing
literally
like
in my head.
A time lapse.
Wait, in my head, I was thinking still in my head, I was like, it just shows people going around the office all fast. I was like, it's kind of a neat idea, right?
No. Wow, I'm glad that we talked about this because if you thought that was my idea, that's fucking horrible. Anyway, no, but like I think it'd be kind of cool because it's like, especially too, there's all these. Did you ever go to like what is it like Up Labs or any of those other websites? They've been around forever. There's like UI kits and stuff.
Yeah, sounds familiar.
But they always have contests. Like this week they're doing, if you were building an electric car, what would an app look like? And like that'll be the theme, and people will submit their designs and stuff like that, right? And so it's like I dig that. Like I love like just seeing what somebody was gonna come up with, right? Like, and it's not ever gonna be anything. It's just a random project someone threw together, and now it's gonna get thrown in the trash. Might get thrown on Dribble, like or whatever. But it's never gonna be anything.
Right.
It's just a total concept. That's what all this could be, right? Like, and so it's one, visually inspiring if the end product ends up looking cool. Two, it's educational for like like. I might see somebody did something a different way.
Process, yeah.
3, we get to promote them, right? So like maybe this is their way to like springboard because we know a lot of like creative directors and heads of products and all that are always hiring badass designers. And then 4, there's just some cool music.
Yeah. This also goes back to when we were starting UX Weekly, one of the original ideas we had was to use it to like showcase, do like the designer and like design company showcase. It's kind of almost coming back to that. Dude, I love it. So, man, we got to get started on that.
We're doing it. We just need some genres of music, lo-fi, some, some fucking crazy drum and bass, some hip hop, some R&B, some jazz. We'll just like do different ones. Easy peasy.
I dig it. Oh yeah, we could let that. That could get dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say we could let the user kind of submit the stuff, like the type of music, but maybe we just let them submit like the genre. Because I mean, I've listened to people play bad. When we used to play music throughout the office, dude, it was like, all right, you're gonna have to turn your shit off. Yeah, that's a bad idea.
I feel like it was always Matt that would always, every time I would ever try to turn music on to our stereo in the office, he'd be like, I don't know who put this on, but it needs to turn off. So apparently I have horrible taste in music. So
Well, yeah, but you're talking about Matt.
it's true. But yeah, but I think this is cool. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're doing it.
All right,
It's happening.
man. It's
happening.
There's only one other thing we said we were going to do that we sort of did and didn't launch, which we're not going to talk about. But we can't do it twice.
No,
so
no.
we're doing this shit.
We also did my social.
We don't need to talk about it.
My stories thing, and I did launch it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was not a total failure, but it ends up being way fucking harder than it is just the way that I
Way
do
more
it right
work.
now. It's way like 10 times more
Yeah.
work. And so that failed really quickly once I set it up, but it did get done. It did. It was called, if you want to follow it on Instagram, it's Gravy is My Kink is the handle. And it's like,
Why are you promoting
just-
it? Now you're going to have to maintain it.
well, I don't know. 'Cause I'm stupid. That's why. 'Cause then if somebody did it, then I'm going to have to like do more and actually do the work. But my point was
Okay.
that we did it. I'm proving that we did it. We didn't say we were going to do it and not
so why
do
did you
We
even bring
did
it up? The only other one I was talking about was the NFT shit. So you didn't even
Because
have to,
we
I said there's
didn't
only
do
one
that
other
one.
app.
No, because
That's
that's a confidence builder. We said we were going to do the other one, and we did it. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. We're like 1 for 2, not 0 for 1.
Oh yeah, okay, cool, good job, way to go, Ray.
I'm trying to up our stats, dude. What are you talking about?
Fantastic. All right, well, dude, hey, we're at an hour and 5 minutes. You wanna hit anything else? You wanna call it a wrap?
Wrap it up.
Sweet.
Wrap it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us as always. Please like and subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating or whatever the best rating you can give on whatever platform you're using. We would greatly appreciate it. And also, I know I played the sweet advertisement earlier, but Riverside.fm, that's what we use to record this podcast, and it's really awesome. So if you want to try it out, go to Riverside.fm, use our promo code UXWeekly, and get 15% off. Whoa!
You did good. Good job.
Thanks, man. I don't
That's
know.
great.
When we don't actually try to do them, they're just way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my monster truck one yesterday was fucking money, but you know.
Oh, we're gonna do that one.
I couldn't
100%.
do it right now. I'd totally screw it up. But
Yeah, on cue.
I got to record it on the phone.
All right, man.
Like, I can do it. But anyway, all right. Late.
No, I just have to have the recorder playing for you.
Yeah, you
And say,
record it. Don't
what was
tell
that
me.
thing you said?
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
gotta. Yeah, don't tell me, and I'll be fine.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We're out. Till next time.
Later.
Have a great week. And yeah, later.
Later.